Okay, perfect. So today, what I want to do is I want to go through three questions that I hear the most often as it relates to new investors coming in to invest in commercial real estate. So the questions are, Shane, how much time do I need? How much money do I need? And the third question is, like, how fast can I start investing? Or essentially, kind of what are the proper expectations I should have? So those are the three questions. I'm going to go through them one at a time here. And yeah, and as always, if you have questions yourself and you want to ask me, just go to my website, shanemelanson.com, and fill out on the contact form your name, whatever, your name. You put a fake one in, I don't really care. And the question that you have. And I'll do my best to answer it if I think it'll kind of help other people. So, first question is, how much time should I allocate to investing in commercial real estate? All right. Now, I'm looking off screen because this is where my notes are. I would say at a bare minimum, 2 hours a week. But I think the better question to ask is, where should I be spending my time, and kind of what sequence should I be using to learn the game, if you will? All right. Now, I always call it a game because, well, there's a couple of good books. One I think is called The Game of Investing in Real Estate, which is a great book. And the other reason is that really when you first get into the game or into the world of investing in commercial real estate, you want to understand the language, you want to understand the players, you want to understand the properties, because at the end of the day, you really need to be taken seriously by professionals. Those are sellers and service providers, brokers, mortgage brokers, lawyers. And the only way to really do that is to make sure that you're speaking the same language that they do. I can tell you, anytime I get into conversations on industries that I'm not familiar with, or like a buddy of mine, he's in oil and gas. I've got other people in private equity, and the acronyms and the lingo and the language they use, I'm not familiar with. And so I really can't follow the conversation. I can pretend to be smart, but often I just say, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, what the hell does that even mean? And often they will spend a little bit of time explaining it. So I think that those are important. Obviously, you don't want to be going into meetings asking people what they mean by a cap rate or NOI, because frankly, those are very common terms that are used, and you can Google it, and in 2 seconds on like Investopedia, I think you could figure that out. So that's what I would say. Take some time. I would say certainly learn the game, and then once you've kind of learned the game, and I don't know, some people, they can learn the game in a month or 2 months. Next is mastering your market, and what I call the programmatic investor. And what I mean by that is, when you understand and you've refined a geographic area that you really want to, think of it like farming, right? You pick 200 properties and you say, I'm going to master and know the tenants. I'm going to know the supply, the demand, the rents. I'm going to know the vacancy, new development. I'm going to know who the players are, both brokers, owners, who's selling, who's buying. That might take 3 months, 6 months. That might take a year. It really depends on how diligent you are. But once you have those two in place, you'll be confident enough, in my experience, to be able to pull the trigger. So this isn't investing advice. This is just my experience. Okay, so take it for what it's worth. So that's the first question, how much time? The second question is, how much money do I need? Now, this is a bit of a loaded question because it really depends on what you're buying, where are you buying it, and are you raising money, or are you investing your own capital? Okay. So to me, I think the better question is to say, Shane, I want to invest in Calgary. I want to buy 15 to 20,000 square foot light industrial multi-bay warehouses, or I want to buy 12 to 24 unit multifamily properties. How much money should I expect? Okay. That is a much better question. And the reason for that is I know with clarity price per square foot or price per door, and I can give a range. And then based on that range, let's just say it's a 12 unit, 200K a door, 2.4 million. Okay. If you're going CMHC, you're getting this. If you're going conventional, you're getting this. If you're going light industrial, let's say it's a 20,000 square foot, $150 a foot. I'm just using this as an example. $3 million. I need 30% down, 900K. Okay. Now we can start to have a conversation. I don't have 900K. Okay. How much do you have? At a minimum, right? Even for all the deals I do, I have to put skin in the game, anywhere from 100 to 250,000, and then I'll raise the balance of the money from my accredited high net worth investors, usually friends and family. All right. So based on that, then I can say, okay, I'm going to put in this, and that means I need to raise 600, 700, $800,000 from others. Okay. So to me, that is kind of how I would answer that question. And I think it gives you hopefully some ideas on strategies, right? And if you don't have a copy of my book, right, you can literally download this on my website for free, or you can buy it and get a bunch of bonuses at my website, Club Syndication, How the Wealthy Raise Capital and Invest in Commercial Real Estate. Okay, last is how fast can I buy a property? How fast can I expect to see results? Once again, I think the better question is to what are the proper expectations? Shane, I have this much money, I have this much experience, I have this much time, based on that, and I have these kind of relationships, based on those 4 variables, what can I expect in the next 6 months, 12 months, okay? Now, I'll give you a quick story because I hope that this will help and illustrate with something tangible, right? Not just theory. So I helped a gentleman, Joel. He had never bought in commercial property before. And when he started working with me, we laid out his plan, gave him clarity, right? So that's the first thing, right? What do you want? Okay, now we know what he wants, where he wants to invest, how much capital he has, how much capital he's going to have to raise. And I want to say, I don't have the exact timeline, but I'm going to say it's probably about 8 to 9 months before he got his first property. It was a 17 unit value add multifamily. And what most people don't see though, and I hope Joel is okay with me sharing this because I have so much respect for the amount of effort and energy that he put into finding deals. He was literally sending me a deal every couple of weeks, sometimes multiple deals in a week. Shane, what do you think of this? What do you think of this? I remember the first property he put under contract. He worked on it for probably several months. I don't know the exact amount he spent in due diligence, but if I was to guess, I would say around $20,000. And he found something out during due diligence, and we decided, he ultimately made the decision that it was the right thing for him to walk away because it was too much risk otherwise. Okay? He never complained. He didn't blame. He didn't say, oh, this sucks and this doesn't work and, I'm done with it. He just said, okay, $20,000 lesson. I avoided a $2 million mistake, and let's keep going. A couple months later, he gets another property under contract, spent some more money on due diligence, went out, raised the money from his investors. Wasn't easy, right? The first deal never is. And now he's got, he's in the game, right? He's got his first property and he's working on the next one. He showed up to every call. I don't think he ever missed a single call. He always added value. He always asked questions. He brought pitch decks to the group calls. And when I was giving him very blunt and direct advice on his deck and how it could be improved, he never made excuses. He didn't complain. He just said, okay, thanks. And sometimes I almost felt bad because my tendency is not to, it's not to kind of hurt someone's feelings or be mean. But at the end of the day, sometimes if it sucks, you just got to tell someone that. And because it's not going to serve him to go out with a crappy or half-baked pitch deck to raise money, especially $500,000 plus. And so anyways, just wanted to share that. And just so you know, I'm not, I make my own mistakes. I'm looking to run a marathon. I'm committed because I've scheduled it for, I believe the date is May 28th this year. And I have had that goal for 3 years, but I've never actually registered for a marathon. So this year I just said, screw it, I'm going to register. I've only ever run half marathons, and I've made many excuses, right? To read lots of books and, kind of followed programs that I felt were convenient, right? This year is different. I have a coach. I have a very specific program. It's essentially 6 days a week. On the 7th day, I still do some runs if I feel good. I'm doing stretching. I've went public about it. Here, once again, I'm saying it publicly. So I've made the commitment both in time, money, energy, proper expectations, and I've just reverse engineered it. So we'll see. I have specific goals. I'm not going to share that publicly. I've shared it with some friends in terms of what I want to achieve on this marathon, and we'll see if it comes to fruition. But I think that these are some things that you can hopefully walk away with in terms of how much time, how much money, and what are the expectations that you should have if you are new to investing in commercial real estate. Hopefully this was helpful. Like I said, if you have questions as it relates to investing and you would like me to answer it in this kind of public forum, as you can see, I didn't name any names because sometimes people want to remain anonymous. And hopefully this is helpful. The whole goal is to really help and protect people from investing and making poor investing decisions in commercial real estate. So that's all I got. I got to run. Bye for now.